Facebook criticisms and controversies. Facebook grants blue tick to verified accounts of public personalities, brands, celebrities including politicians and artists. They have no policy in the cases where an individual who has a verified blue tick account gets convicted in a serious criminal case. There has been a recent case in India where a politician was convicted for 10 years jail term in a serious bribery criminal case, but his FB page still continues to be verified. Facebook's market dominance has led to international media coverage and significant reporting of its shortcomings. Notable issues include internet privacy, such as its widespread use of a like button on third-party websites tracking users, possible indefinite records of user information, automatic facial recognition software, and its role in the workplace, including employer-employee account disclosure. In a 2014 Huffington Post blog article entitled Facebook, The World's Biggest Waste of Time?, Bill Robinson stated that going on Facebook was not a productive use of time, and he raised concerns about its addictive qualities. Timothy Apichl wrote in Psychology Today about his concerns that Facebook is leading to technological time wasting and procrastination. The use of Facebook can have psychological effects, including feelings of jealousy and stress, a lack of attention, and social media addiction, in some cases comparable to drug addiction. In an interview with The New Yorker, antitrust regulator Marguerite Vestager stated that Facebook's terms of use that concern private data were unbalanced. She noted that users accept terms they would never accept in a more traditional environment, such as if a brick-and-mortar business asked to copy all your photographs for its unlimited, unspecified uses. Facebook's company tactics have also received prominent coverage, including electricity usage, tax avoidance, real name user requirement policies, censorship, and its involvement in the United States PRISM surveillance program. Due to allowing users to publish material by themselves, Facebook has come under scrutiny for the amount of freedom it gives users, including copyright and intellectual property infringement, hate speech, incitement of rape and terrorism, fake news, and crimes, murders and violent incidents live-streamed through its Facebook Live functionality. Facebook worked on special censorship software so it could potentially accommodate censorship demands in communist-controlled China. The company has also been subject to multiple litigation cases over the years, with its most prominent case concerning allegations that CEO Mark Zuckerberg broke an oral contract with Cameron Winklevoss, Tyler Winklevoss, and Divya Narendra to build the then-named Harvard Connection social network in 2004, instead allegedly opting to steal the idea and code to launch Facebook months before Harvard Connection began. The original lawsuit was eventually settled in 2009, with Facebook paying approximately $20 million in cash and 1.25 million shares. A new lawsuit in 2011 was dismissed. On November 5, 2017, the Paradise Papers, a set of confidential electronic documents relating to offshore investment, revealed that Russian state organizations with ties to Vladimir Putin pursued between 2009 and 2011 large investments in Facebook and Twitter via an intermediary, Russian-American entrepreneur Yuri Milner, who befriended Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and invested in the company co-founded by Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law. According to the Express Tribune, Facebook is among the corporations that avoided billions of dollars in tax using offshore companies. According to the press reports, Gazprom Invest Holding, a subsidiary of the Kremlin-controlled Gazprom, borrowed funds to one of the DST global investors to buy shares in Facebook, reaping millions when the social media giant went public in 2012. 4 days after the Facebook IPO, a DST global subsidiary sold more than 27 million shares of Facebook for roughly $1 billion. On March 6, 2018, BlackBerry sued Facebook and its Instagram and WhatsApp subdivision for ripping off key features of its messaging app. According to BlackBerry, it invented the core concepts in mobile messaging app which were copied by Facebook and its subsidiaries. According to the Facebook Deputy General Counsel, Paul Grewal, BlackBerry abandoned its effort to innovate and it is now looking to tax the innovation of others. On June 7, 2018, Chief Privacy Officer Aaron Egan noted that a software bug had resulted in about 14 million Facebook users having their default sharing setting for all new posts set to public. Facebook issued a notification to users which were exposed to this issue. A Facebook spokesperson said the notification is the start of new proactive and transparent way for the company to handle issues going forward. Shadow profiles. Shadow profile has become a catch-all term for data that is outside the scope of a user's official profile or voluntarily shared content. This includes data that Facebook collects on non-users that may be collected by the Facebook Analytics pixel or location data from a mobile phone. During his 2018 congressional testimony, CEO Mark Zuckerberg said that while users have control over data collection for advertising purposes, on security, there may be specific things about how you use Facebook, even if you're not logged in, that we keep track of to make sure you're not abusing the systems. Zuckerberg also stated that he was not familiar with the term shadow profile, though he did confirm that Facebook gathers data on individuals who have not signed up for Facebook accounts. Cambridge Analytica. In March 2018, whistleblowers revealed that personal information from over 87 million Facebook users was sold to Cambridge Analytica, a political data analysis firm that had worked for Donald Trump's presidential campaign. The data was collected using an app created by Global Science Research. While approximately 270,000 people volunteered to use the app, Facebook's API also permitted data collection from the friends of app users. When the information was first reported, Facebook tried to downplay the significance of the breach, and attempted to suggest that the stolen data was no longer available to Cambridge Analytica. However, with increasing scrutiny, Facebook issued a statement expressing alarm and suspended Cambridge Analytica, while review of documents and interviews with former Facebook employees suggested that Cambridge Analytica was still in possession of the data. This is a violation of the consent decree entered into law by Facebook with the Federal Trade Commission, and violations of the consent decree could carry a penalty of $40,000 per violation, meaning that if news reports that the data of 50 million people were shared proves true, the company's possible exposure runs into the trillions of dollars. According to The Guardian reporter Carol Cadwalader, who broke the story, both Facebook and Cambridge Analytica threatened to sue the newspaper if it published the story and continually tried to prevent its publication. After the story was published anyway, Facebook claimed that it had been lied to. Cadwalader said that Facebook was trying to shift the blame onto a third party. Nick Thompson of Wired and CBS News pointed out that Cambridge Analytica obtained all the personal data without having to breach Facebook, and that it didn't work because somebody hacked in and broke stuff. It worked because Facebook has built the craziest, most invasive advertising model in the history of the world, and someone took advantage of it. On March 23, 2018, the English High Court granted an application by the Information Commissioner's Office for a warrant to search Cambridge Analytica's London offices, ending a standoff between Facebook's data team and the Information Commissioner over who is responsible for the forensic searching of the company's servers. On March 25, Zuckerberg placed a newspaper ad in UK and US newspapers apologizing over a breach of trust. Newspapers included Sunday Telegraph, Sunday Times, Mail on Sunday, Observer, Sunday Mirror, and Sunday Express. You may have heard about a quiz app built by a university researcher that leaked Facebook data of millions of people in 2014. This was a breach of trust, and I'm sorry we didn't do more at the time. We're now taking steps to make sure this doesn't happen again. We've already stopped apps like this from getting so much information. Now we're limiting the data apps get when you sign in using Facebook. We're also investigating every single app that had access to large amounts of data before we fixed this. We expect there are others. And when we find them, we will ban them and tell everyone affected. Finally, we'll remind you which apps you give access to your information, so you can shut off the ones you don't want anymore. Thank you for believing in this community. I promise to do better for you. On March 26, the Federal Trade Commission opened an investigation into Facebook regarding the use of its data by Cambridge Analytica, causing stocks to temporarily drop by more than 5%. Android data scraping. In Android platform, it was reported that Facebook app has been gathering Android users' data for years. The data included phone calls and text messages history that were stored to Facebook database. Unlike Android, Apple limited the privilege of the apps who try to gather personal information from the iOS devices. In May 2018, several Android users in California filed a class action lawsuit against Facebook for invading their privacy by unauthorized access and storing personal contact data, especially call and text message history, without users' consent. Public apologies. In early March 2018, The Observer reported that a political consultancy known as Cambridge Analytica had been provided access to the personal data of about 50 million Americans by Facebook. On March 21, 2018, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg issued the company's first public statement since this information was publicly disclosed. However, another article was published on April 4 by Wired that reports a statement made by Facebook regarding the number of people affected. Mike Schroepfer, Facebook's chief technology officer, disclosed that the amount is closer to 87 million via a blog post. The earlier announcement discussed modification to the way that third-party applications could access data from Facebook. An app downloaded by 270,000 people has been claimed to have led to the crisis. When users downloaded this app, called This Is Our Digital Life, information regarding the user's preferred Facebook content as well as their hometown could then be accessed by the app. This was then used to acquire similar information of the user's contacts and continued to affect approximately 50 million people in total. It has also been claimed that pre-existing policies around access to personal information of Facebook users by third-party app developers are foundational to the crisis. The company has received significant backlash following the disclosure of the use of private data by other entities. This backlash has also taken the form of demands for legal accountability, including the opening of an investigation into the company by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. Others such as Elon Musk, who has deleted his Facebook pages for SpaceX and Tesla, have publicly expressed their decision to terminate their use of the media platform for their purposes. According to a study done by Jeffrey Child and Sean Starter in 2015, Facebook is a social media platform where both known and unknown audiences can gain access to posted context, increasing the possibility for privacy breakdowns. The company has a history of making efforts of rapprochement for such privacy crises. Past apologies of Facebook started in 2009, when Facebook first launched their site worldwide. In the hopes of making it easier for users to share or keep their information private, the company ended up modifying the entire site and publicizing a subsequent apology for the situation. For years, Facebook has been giving advertisers the option of having targeted ads based on data collecting companies like Axiom Core and Experian plc. In March 2016, Facebook first acknowledged that user data had been mishandled back in 2014 when a third-party app was linked back to Cambridge Analytica. This was the same company that was hired by the 2016 presidential campaign of Donald Trump. The media platform has also been accessed by individuals in addition to corporate entities for varying purposes. The site has been used to determine the eligibility for students to be employed or charged with a form of retribution in some cases, based on what they share or post. In response to criticism and outrage, different media outlets were used by the company to issue a public apology. On March 25, 2018, UK newspapers The Observer, The Sunday Times, Mail on Sunday, Sunday Mirror, Sunday Express and Sunday Telegraph contained full-page ads depicting a personal apology from Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. In the United States, The New York Times, The Washington Post, and The Wall Street Journal also contained the same page-length ads. In addition to the use of newspaper outlets, Mark Zuckerberg issued a verbal apology on CNN and took part in interviews with other news organizations such as Recode. Zuckerberg has also made multiple other apologies over the course of the years regarding Facebook. In May 2010, Zuckerberg issued a public apology over discrepancies in the privacy settings in The Washington Post via an op-ed article. Similarly, the CEO has also made apologies via blog posts as well as through the Facebook platform itself. In an effort to earn back public trust, Facebook ended its partnerships with several data brokers who aid advertisers in targeting people on the social network. The company has also adjusted the privacy settings again for its user base as well. Previously, Facebook had its privacy settings spread out over 20 pages, and has now put all of its privacy settings on one page, which makes it harder for third-party apps to access the user's personal information. In addition to publicly apologizing, Facebook has said that it will be reviewing and auditing thousands of apps that display suspicious activities in an effort to ensure that this breach of privacy doesn't happen again. In a 2010 report regarding privacy, a research project stated that not a lot of information is available regarding the consequences of what people disclose online, so often what is available are just reports made available through popular media. In 2017, a former Facebook executive went on the record to discuss how social media platforms have contributed to the unraveling of the fabric of society. Violence, conspiracy theories and fringe discourse. Facebook has come under criticism for giving a platform to conspiracy theorists and those who engage in incendiary fringe discourse. In July 2018, Facebook stated that it would downrank articles which fact-checkers determined to be false, and remove misinformation which directly incited violence. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, who is Jewish, defended this policy in an interview with Kara Swisher, and stirred controversy by saying that it was unclear if Holocaust deniers on Facebook intended to deceive others. He later wrote, "I personally find Holocaust denial deeply offensive, and I absolutely didn't intend to defend the intent of people who deny that." Facebook was criticized for allowing InfoWars, a far-right website notorious for pushing falsehoods and conspiracy theories. InfoWars appears to thrive on Facebook, with more than 6.8 million interactions and with videos earning more than 92 million views over a year. In comparison, the reputable conservative outlet National Review only got 2.78 million interactions and video views of 11 million over the same period, despite both outlets having similarly sized Facebook followings. Facebook defended its actions in regards to InfoWars, saying, "We just don't think banning pages for sharing conspiracy theories or false news is the right way to go. Specific posts and videos that violate community standards can be removed on Facebook." Facebook has said that content that receives false ratings from Facebook-approved fact-checkers can be demonetized and that repeat offenders will be punished with dramatically reduced distribution. Yet Facebook provided only 6 cases in which it fact-checked content on the InfoWars page over the period September 2017 to July 2018. In 2018, when InfoWars falsely claimed that the survivors of the Parkland shooting were actors, Facebook pledged to remove InfoWars content making the claim. However, CNN later found that InfoWars videos pushing the false claims were left up, even though Facebook had been contacted about the videos. Facebook defended the inaction, saying that the videos never explicitly accused the child survivors of being actors. Facebook also allowed InfoWars videos that shared the Pizzagate conspiracy theory to be left up, despite having specifically asserted that it would combat Pizzagate content. Later, amid controversy over InfoWars, Facebook decided in late July 2018 to suspend the personal profile of InfoWars head Alex Jones for 30 days because he had repeatedly violated Facebook policy. The New York Times characterized the punishment as a wrist slap. In early August 2018, Facebook banned the 4 most active InfoWars-related pages: the Alex Jones channel page, the Alex Jones page, the InfoWars page, and the InfoWars nightly news page, from its platform for violating its policies against hate speech. The New York Times described Facebook as a vector for the conspiracy theory that the United States created ISIS. According to the Washington Post, anti-Rohingya fake news on Facebook stoked tensions in Myanmar and contributed to hostile views against the Rohingya, a minority group in Burma that has been victim of ethnic cleansing. Myanmar's military used Facebook to fuel genocide and ethnic cleansing against the Rohingya. The parents of a child killed in the Sandy Hook massacre called on Facebook to target online abuse related to Sandy Hook conspiracy theories, with the parents noting that they themselves were forced to go into hiding due to harassment from the conspiracy theorists. A paper by University of Warwick researchers found that Facebook usage was linked to anti-refugee attacks in Germany. Ilya Somin, a law professor at George Mason University and a scholar at the Cato Institute, reported that he had been the subject of death threats from Cesar Sayoc, the man who was arrested for the October 2018 United States mail bombing attempts directed at prominent Democratic politicians. The threats were made on Facebook. In April, before the bombings, Sayoc threatened to kill Somin and his family and feed the bodies to Florida alligators. At the time, Somin's Facebook friends reported the comments to Facebook, which did nothing except send back automated messages. Controversy regarding Definer's public affairs and Soros. In October 2017, Facebook expanded its work with Definer's public affairs, that had originally been hired to monitor press coverage of the company to address concerns regarding Russian meddling, data sharing, hate speech on Facebook and calls for protection through public policy and regulation. Definers had established a Silicon Valley outpost earlier that year led by Tim Miller, a former spokesman for Jeb Bush. For tech firms, he argued in one interview, a goal should be to have positive content pushed out about your company and negative content that's being pushed out about your competitor. A research document circulated by Definers to reporters this summer, just a month after the House hearing, cast George Soros, a frequent subject of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and hate speech, falsely as the unacknowledged force behind what appeared to be a broad anti-Facebook movement. Definers also created other negative media, along with America Rising, which was distributed through NTK Network that was later picked up by larger media organizations like Breitbart. Following the public outcry from the New York Times article documenting the activity of Definer's public affairs, Facebook cut ties with the agency.